Namaskar. Hearty welcome to a sixth session of the three-day online conference on environment and literature, being conducted by Sahitya Academy in collaboration with the Foundation of SARC Writers and Literature, that is FOSFOL. And in this session is devoted for fiction. And in this session, we have in our midst Ma'am Mamang Daiji from India, and from Sri Lanka, we have Irishon Fernando from Sri Lanka, Rinku Dhan Subhaji from Bhutan. Hello. And may I request now, and this session is going to be chaired by Mamang Dai ma'am. So ma'am, kindly take over the session and kindly conduct the same. And each of you are allotted with 10 minutes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh Babu. Thank you very much, and very warm welcome to Iroshan Fernando and Rikudhan Subha. I'm joining you from Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh. And I think after pandemic years, it's still nice to meet online, if not face to face at some stage. And I think we are starting in good time, so I will allow you to start immediately to read your fiction. This is the sixth session, and let me very quickly say I welcome, all the members, BIMSTEC members, and also thank Sahitya Academy and Madam Ajit Kaur, President of FOSWAL, the Foundation of SARC Writers and Literature, for conducting this and allowing us to be on this program. So, is it all right if I start with you, Iroshan? Would you like to give a brief intro about yourself? Are you in Sri Lanka? Where in Sri Lanka? And then you can read your fiction.
Okay, hi, welcome all. I'm Iroshan and I'm from, I'm from Sri Lanka, and I'm from the western province of Sri Lanka, from the city of Colombo near Kalutara. And I'm working as a copywriter for Leobana Sri Lanka, the advertising firm. And I did writing for around 5 to 6 years now as a senior writer. Now I work in there. So I wrote 3 books, all in Sinhala, one in 2019, 20 and 21. The phrase today I'm going to talk about is I'm taking from my second book, and it was also translated for English also from another writer in Sri Lanka. Yeah, that's about me. And I also thank the government of India and all the members who are doing this for us, like this situation. Like, we hope to meet you face to face in India, but again, the Omicron come and hit all of us, and like I think we can surely meet on next October or something. We wish we can meet there. So may I share my screen? Like, I have that writing with me, so you can easily read it. Yeah.
Okay.
Host disabled parts. I think there's issue with sharing screen.
Shall I share the screen with you?
Yeah, I have
no, you want to have this screen sharing?
Yeah, I want to have screen share. I have to share just image.
Just 1 minute.
Okay. There's a power crisis in Sri Lanka, so that's the main reason. Like, sometimes the lights go around
here also the same.
Yeah, 6 to 7 hours. So we are hard to manage the time with the schedules. That's the main issue.
I think I have already given you. Kindly.
Okay, thank you.
Did you get?
Yeah, I get.
Okay.
Yes, the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 1 minute, please. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I can see.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
This phrase,
Unknown Wanderer, no?
yeah, Unknown Wanderer
Yeah.
was the English translation of that book. The original one was Ahituku Sarasaranna. This phrase actually, after I wrote it, this was taken by University of Moratuwa to their lectures, also as a material to teaching the how to craft in a poem in the visual communication studies. In that book, I not only written poems. There are like short stories, poems, plus some the talking between the peoples. So here also something like that. Uh, the a conversation between two people. So do you hate that fellow? No. Then do you still love that fellow? No. Then what? I am where I was before we met. We are strangers. So for here, the main point I want to express is so after a breakup or something, people are always suffer from it for like a long time. So if we can be after the this breakup something where we before start the thing, so we can easily easily recover from the situation, and we can easily live our life that like as before. The main reason for like the when I got the idea, the main reason was there are too many suicides in Sri Lanka, like the based on the more on that like the because of breakups of from love and stuff. So people are people don't have a way to express their feeling, and they only the thing they do know is they want to end their lives. So mostly as a writer and advertise also, I'm also like to work more on like preventing suicides in Sri Lanka and the international. So I always want to say people the end is not that. So you can always written you things, and all, and you can always talk with the people, and you can always share your the feeling with other your friends and stuff. So then you can easily recover from the situation. So basically all my things and all the stuff were based on love and the life of people. So this was actually a result of also my pain. So I think after that thing, why I won't suffer from this, because I were a place without her before I came to here. So if I can go to there again without her, the person me before, when I meet when I meet her, so it's easy to recover me. So I teach this also from my friends and other people also, and the singular poem from the singer actually the first copy from this para or the this thing was shared on Facebook and social medias very much, like it's sometimes around like 10,000 shares or something, because people have a problem how we can recover from this. So the solution I gave was, so be there after you break up, be the one who you were before, to become a friend or love with her or him. So that's the main thing I want to tell here. Sorry for my English. So I'm a singer writer. So that's the thing. And the Unknown Wanderer also translated for English, because I want to tell, like I have an idea to like uh, take my writings to a next level, like or the international level, so people can read it somewhere else. So I translated the whole book, and my friend was did that. Then we want to like publish it on Amazon or somewhere, and we are working for that also. I think that's the thing I always want to say about love for people. Like, don't lose yourself for someone else, and you can always recover from that. And I always like to help the people about this and give some the knowledge I have, and the physically and mentally how you can fix yourselves and you can move on. That's the best thing you want to do. So you don't want to give up on something you don't deserve. So that's the simple. So you can be the person who you before meet he or she. So that's my fiction and the reading about this. Do I have another minutes or something?
Yeah, you can have another 5 minutes.
I miss. Oh, thank you. Actually, beside of this phrase now also can apply in the real life of Sri Lankan people also, because I think in the situation like this, as the people are suffering from many bad things in here. So this is not about a political thing, but this is life about our people. So you always know, like, there are this is Sri Lanka is always a developing country and is for 75 years which is developing country. So I think mostly people are now also they also want to go to a place like they were before. I mean, before the independence or something, like they were like Sri Lanka was very beautiful and very prosperous country. For after 75 or 76 years, now we're going to like a very bad way. So people are suffering like many packages. They are always on queues and they haven't food and they like all this stuff. So I think this phrase can also taken as a social political thing, also as love thing, and the phrase can apply in many ways, not just about, as I got tell, it's not about love, because it can apply on job misses, or if you like uh, if you miss your mother or someone or loved one, or animal or some pet or something. So that's the thing, like this phrase can apply anywhere. But I think not but that's the main thing. I think this is go more wider because people have too many sufferings, not from the breakups. They sometimes they lost their jobs and they are like mother or fathers or something. Sometimes they miss their home and stuff. So people always like want to share this and say, yeah, I want to recover, but like that's the main thing. People always tell and take this want to take this out. For more people, this is very related, and this is the feeling they want to say, but they haven't word to say. So many people use this as their life-changing phase kind of thing. So I really happy about this little phase. Like I didn't ever thought this is going like this much of wider and wider, and people like coming to talk me and like, hey, this is very nice. This is one I want to tell you and to the world. You wrote it for me. Like this is so. If some people come and tell you, this is a that amazing pressure as a writer. So that's the thing I want to tell you about my book and my place. So thank you for listening to me for this 10 minutes and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eroshan. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll sum it up towards the end. I think, is it all right if I invite Mr. Rikudhan Subbaji? Would you like to read something?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, please.
Just to
We'll
introduce
have-
myself.
Yeah.
My name is Rikudan Suba. I'm a writer from Bhutan. Actually, by profession, I'm a civil servant. And
okay.
and I have been writing since 2015. And I write in English, by the way. And In Love with Butterflies is my first publication, which was published in 2019. And this is a compilation of short stories. I co-author with one of our witness friends. And today I would like to read out a story, a short story from this publication. And the title of this story is A Father's Love. And here it goes.
Father's love.
A Father's Love. The sun is beginning to set in Suzakang, a tiny village in southern Bhutan. The western horizon is drenched in golden hues. A pleasant breeze blows gently. It is a beautiful evening. My father looks at me with deep gratitude. My dear son, your mother and I are very happy you have come to meet us, he says, flashing a smile. I wish to visit often, but father, I get caught up with my work, I say. We are sitting on the porch right in front of our two-storied house. It is enclosed by rice field in the front and Erica nut orchard at the back. There are only a few households around. During his youth, my father was tall, almost giant for his size, with broad shoulders and long limbs. He had a large pair of eyes and a prominent nose. He was the most handsome man in the village, and it is little wonder that he married two wives. Now hovering around 75, little of his former glory remains. He has become frail. His hairs have turned all gray. His eyes have sunk. His face is ridden with wrinkles. Two nephews who were running around the house and screaming momentarily distract our conversation. So much of them remind me of my own childhood. I used to play around the house with my brothers when I was young. I went to the same community school, and then I traveled away from my parents to study at higher secondary school and college. After graduation, I started working in the civil service. In fact, this is what my illiterate parents have wished for me. But deep inside, I'm guilty. I do not put enough efforts to visit my parents to spend time with them. My excuse is that I'm busy with work. But the truth is that I'm always charging forward, constantly looking for a life that I want. Meanwhile, my father stands up from his chair and walks down the steps of the porch. He missteps his foot and almost falls down. I quickly catch hold of his hand. In that instant, holding his hand, I remember an incident that had happened 20 years ago, and for the first time in my life, I felt like a son. It happened when I was 14 years old on a weekend afternoon in the village. We were running low on firewood, and my father told me gruffly, as always, without a smile on his face, that I could give up the hopes of playing with friends that afternoon. He wanted me to help him fetch some wood. Father was always gruff with me, never coddling, never smiling, always with a poker face. After lunch, we set off. My father hung a long saw over his shoulder, and I carried an axe. Once we reached the spot, my father scaled the tree, briskly measuring its size. The tree was about 26 meters tall. Then he asked me to hang on to one end of the saw as he started pulling it from the other end. The afternoon sun scorched our backs. We kept moving the saw backwards and forwards as it cut deeper and deeper into the tree trunk. We sweated profusely. My body felt exhausted and my back ached. Blisters formed on my palms and the pain was burning. My father did not stop working and I could not ask him for a break. Suddenly, a loud hectoring sound of the tree rumbled like lightning. In the flick of a second, the tree fell down right over us. My body turned cold with fear. My mind went blank. And I stood there frozen to the ground, a few seconds separating life from death. Almost immediately after, I realized I was safe, and a bit of a miracle. Only a tiny branch of the tree had hit me, slightly scratching my right hand. But I couldn't see my father anywhere. That moment, I thought I had lost him to the hurtling tree. Tears formed in the corners of my eyes and flowed down my cheeks. I cried heartbreakingly. To my surprise, my father spectacularly rose from beneath the fell tree. He had been hurt badly. I could see his limbs bleeding. However, without paying any heed to his own pain, he darted towards me. He held me to ensure if I was okay. As he checked my hands, my legs, and my head, he burst into tears and hugged me tightly, his first hug. I do not have to share how much he loved and cared for me. The embrace spoke for itself. Throughout the way back home, I held his hand and he held mine. This is the end of the short story one of the short stories. And if I may talk about the story, it's about two things. The first part is how education taking away children from parents from rural areas in Bhutan. Modern education started in Bhutan in 2000, since 1960s. And government made lots of efforts to educate children, sending some of them compulsory to the school. And what happened is that after that, you can see in rural Bhutan, only elderly people are there. So children are in urban sites and also traveling abroad and making their own livelihoods. this story talk about this particular scenario in Bhutan. And the second aspect is that about the relationship between father and son, how a father is always gruff, serious with his son, never smiling, never coupling with him, and never showing any kind of feelings towards the son. But father is father in the end. No matter how he treats his children, he has that the feelings that father's love is actually universal, and it cannot be questioned. So these are the two aspects that this story actually portrays.
Thank you, Mr. Subba. That was very nice to hear. I think we have touched two themes here about environment, the landscape of leaving and returning, losing and finding.
Yes.
And I think all this is working towards a sense of recovery to what was before, meaning finding yourself again. I think you were talking about suicide rates in Sri Lanka, and Mr. Subba was also talking about modern education taking away children. So these are all facets of not necessarily the natural environment, the physical, geographical environment, but this kind of landscape of environment where literature also grows, since we are focusing on environment and literature, not just in the ecological sense, but also the landscape of people, their thoughts, and the recovery of meaning through which you find yourself and the power of love. So I think that's very nice. Thank you so much, both of you. Mr. Subba, I didn't ask, are you reading from Thimphu or where are you in Bhutan?
Yes, I'm reading from Thimphu, the capital
Thimphu,
city of
no?
Bhutan.
Yeah.
Lockdown just opened today, and right now I'm
Oh,
in
great.
office
Okay.
space, and it's a good omen for me to actually come to office and actually make this
Great.
reading. Thank you
And
so
I
much.
hope we'll all meet face to face sometime with Dr. Suresh. And I see Madam Ajit Kaur also has joined us. So that is an honor.
Hello,
It's very
madam.
nice.
Hi, madam.
Namaskar, Madam.
Mamangdai ma'am, can you present your
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just read very quickly. This is a short piece. It is also about a landscape of being restlessness, and of course it was written during the lockdown. It's called Waiting for Rain. He saw the small puffy cloud on the first day. It was creeping up behind the hill, directly in line with his gaze as he sat in his room doing nothing. Yes, yes, there was a book open on the table, but he was doing nothing, just waiting. Oh, the difference between understanding and non-understanding. He had read that somewhere. Was it in that open book? No, no, he had read it a long time ago and the lines had stuck. It was hot. He pondered the Amazon fires. The news made out like the planet was on fire. Maybe it was. The puffball of a cloud had disappeared. The face of an old man passed before his eyes. It was Homer. Homer, alive for thousands of years, waiting for rain in some desert cave. He'd read that somewhere too, another book. Now the sky was spotless again. He didn't like that blank space. It made his stomach churn. A buzzing jolted him. A cicada was hanging upside down on the curtain. He shook the curtain violently. Zzz. The cicada landed on the floor with a thud. He grabbed it and flung it out through the window. Soon we'll have an invasion of insects, the way our forests are dying and everyone running to find shelter. He remembered a story from his childhood. Someone shot a stag gamboling in the Milky Way. He shot it with an arrow. The wounded stag fell and landed on the rack above the fireplace. Ha! Now hear this. Man had a stack of racks for preserving food, meat, grain, fish. Imagine, always shoring up for hard times. The stag jumped up from his fall on the upper rack, and the man hunted him down to the lower rack and on. But the stag eluded him and scrambled out of the house into the forest. The man leapt after him, and so man and stag have been running in this wild hunting game of search and find food, find shelter, a terrain, a tree, a woman by the stream, a field on a hill, a fortress of stone and rock. And all this time, not a drop of rain had touched his lips. No water slaked his thirst. Instead, sweat was running off his body like rivulets full of salt. Did he have a fever? No one came to visit. Let him be. He knew they said that. He loved solitude. So nothing and no one arrived. He thumped his chest. The desolation of peace. A poet had said that. He had read it somewhere too. High in the mountains, a harvest of walnuts is spread out to dry. The broken shells are like pellets. The sun is a burning god. Oh, red August red, many-armed season of deception and unrest. A harvest of lies is piling up like daggers. One day, the knives will have a life of their own. There are ways and ways of saying things. There is rain and summer and last year and the year before. We are sailing, sailing, thinking we know something. What is the news this burning afternoon? He dreamt of a cascade of words filling hill and valley. Such a volley of words. Who could resist such words of love and light? He peered out. The cicadas were tuning up. Strum, strum, twang, twang. Already the small birds were testing the strength of a twig, dancing in the big, patient trees. No summer rest for them. And so they will accomplish everything in their lifespan. Thank you. That's it. So thank you very much, Dr. Suresh.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for not only chairing the session, but also you presented your own fiction. And thanks a lot. And see, the greatness of today's this session is that we showed much interest on the human environment, where we express our feelings, where we try to make someone to reflect on himself or herself. Because as you know, there is in psychology, even in Indian philosophy, there is a big term called self-talk. That self-talk, that as it is said in Sanskrit, that koham, who am I? That who am I will make us to mold ourselves and to reflect upon ourselves, to overcome many hurdles and many things. So thank you so much, ma'am. And I sincerely thank all, first and foremost, Ajit Kaur ma'am for your patience, commitment, and that's why yesterday, in fact, I wrote some poem on you, but I'll read out in the last session, because the title of the poem is Defeated. I'm defeated. So I'll read out that some other day. So thank you so much, Mamangdai ma'am from India, and Eroshan Fernando from Sri Lanka, and Rinkudhan Subaji from Bhutan for representing your fiction. And with this, the sixth session of this 3-day conference on environment and literature being conducted by Sahitya Academy and FOSWAL. And I sincerely thank, on behalf of Dr. K. Srinivasa Rao ji, Secretary Sahitya Academy, and Dr. Ajit Kaur ma'am, President FOSWAL, for sparing your valuable time with us. With this sixth session has come to an end. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.